Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amateur Hour Commentary. I'm the Wolf Craze, and joining to me today is the wonderful, the marvelous Plank, or Move Master Mick, or man with the dildo sticks, I guess. There they
You mean
are.
these?
Oh,
You mean
those
these?
things. Yeah, those things. Look at those things. The flea
Who
market.
needs who needs these?
So what's going on, man? What's going on?
Oh, mate, it's just manic, innit? It's life is just a roller coaster. Happy days. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Everybody's drunk. Everybody's high on life.
Hmm.
All good. It's all good.
That's awesome. How you been enjoying the league so far?
It's been entertaining, I've got to be honest. I've caught as many games as I can. Not always been available to watch them all, but the ones I have, I've joined in with the guys on the big screen yesterday with Diver and the DeathSqaud team, and that was exciting. I felt like one of those roving reporters. Well, what do you think to this result then? Well, I think it's amazing. I think this is where it should be. Let's go. Connie's are kicking ass. Blah blah blah. It's like, yeah. What do you think? I'm not supposed to be here, Mister. I think I'm in the wrong room.
That was Diver saying that, right?
He kept poking me. He kept poking me in the eye, and I said, "I'm moving seats, mate. I can't be doing with you here. Stop it."
Sit
There's
down
a
in
funny
the
smell
front.
here. Funny smell. I've got to go. I've got to go. Bless
Um,
him.
well, this particular matchup, you were very interested in casting, particularly because you know a lot of the players, correct?
Yes. Yes, indeed. I mean, like I say, I wouldn't say been growing up with these guys, but obviously a lot of them part of the beta team on the PlayStation. Obviously, some of the guys who've come over onto the Quest side as well. Obviously, all joining up and whatever. So, I'm part of the family. I don't have my favourites. Never had my favourites really. But like I say, I know these guys well. They're a good bunch. Always have a good laugh. As I always say, it's not about the competition. It's about the shits and giggles. And as long as you come off with a smile on your face, job done. Simple as.
Yeah, yeah. League is kind of tough for anyone who's ever competed, and maybe if this is your first time competing. For some reason, everybody who is friends, automatically there's like this separation, and it just kind of happens because this is the moment where everybody lays it on the table, if you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, and they start
Yeah.
measuring. So it becomes one of those situations where, okay, there's nothing on the line, but there's something to prove, and everybody
Yeah.
wants their team to win. It's no fun sitting at the bottom, but if you are learning something and if you're just having fun with it, then good on you, because that's the whole point, to go in, play competitively, because you could go into public, so you can run a lobby, but sometimes
Yeah.
there's not a lot of fun in that.
No, I think at the end of the day, you've got to look at, if you're enjoying it, you're going to be playing better. When you're not enjoying it, then you get a bit tense and that, you don't get your best ability in the game. So as long as you're enjoying it and you're on your A game, there's nothing better. It's a great feeling. Everybody likes winning. I know we was talking off air about all the sports we've done in the past,
Mhm.
and at the end of the day, yes, we love taking part, but God, do we hate losing?
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna punch him in the face, the smarmy little git. But you think, oh, well done, matey, congratulations, good game,
Hey,
good
kick
game.
him in the ass on the way out.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, we'll give you some of that on the way out.
Yeah, that I in part, like, so I did do a little competing before in the esports area, and it was going well, and then we had a changing captain, and then all of a sudden the culture changed on our team, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna peace, and then that's when I picked up this hobby, and I don't want to say it's my calling, but it's far more entertaining because I can be objective and I can pick on whoever I want. With I think that's
you
why I
can't
enjoy
do
it.
that. You can't do that as a commentator, can you?
Well,
Is
I
that
can
like
do
that?
whatever I want. My show.
Oh, fair enough. All right, okay, yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming. You were great.
I mean, and that's the point, right? Like, as a commentator, it's a whole different kind of like atmosphere. We have to try to be as objective as possible, which is why I always go off of stats, which I know people hate, but truth be told, numbers don't lie. So I tend to
No,
stick around the stats, and I try to base my opinion off of what I've seen, and I try to remain as objective about that as possible. And of course, I have my favorites, and I'll always highlight who my favorite teams are, which is why I asked that question during the mid season review.
you.
Um, I think those opportunities are perfect to show, like, yes, we do have favorite players, but we're going to tell you like how the stats are and how the players are,
Yeah.
as objectively as possible. But speaking of the players, we could talk a little about the rosters. We'll start with DeathSqaud. Yay, DeathSqaud. These guys have been doing a fantastic job. They are currently sitting 6-0, or not 6-0. We have fourth week, so 24-0. Their primary contender Trauma just went up against Carnage yesterday, which, by the way, thank you Doyle for soloing that. Titch and I both had some pretty busy days yesterday. And boy, what a miraculous kind of game that was, between Trauma and Carnage, huh?
To be fair, like I say, 4-0, you think, yeah, game over. Are they going to roll over and say, well, thanks for coming, we've made the numbers up. But my God, they stuck in hard. They stuck their heels in massively and actually put them through. I think they caught him massively off guard. I think at the end of the day, Trauma just got too casual. I think they just thought, yeah, we're here. They just thought they just had to turn up. And I think that's exactly what caught them out. And massive kudos to Carnage for actually sticking the reels in, getting stuck in, and actually getting a result. Which I'd say, if you put that on the odds board, you probably wouldn't have got 4-2. But they've managed to nick 2 points, which is massive in the actual race for top spot. So, and like you say, Crispy was on fire. You could actually see Crispy's gun wobbling in the game. He was like, "Oh my god, what am I doing? What am I doing?" But at least, I don't know if that's because he's using. He was on Quest, wasn't he? So I don't know if that's slightly more, rather than using the aim. But you could tell he was focused. He was, his mind was only on one job, and that was to win that game, and then win the actual TDM in the end as well. So,
and the
massive effort.
And the pressure was even greater considering the fact that they were performing well. So as you start, like, if you're a team going in against the number 1 seed and you're thinking to yourself, okay, this is going to be tough. But then all of a sudden you start seeing the numbers and you're like, wow, we're doing this. Now all of a sudden the adrenaline's kicking even more, and you got to try to reel that in. I think that's one of the challenges in competition, is you got to keep your emotions in check, because either you get too angry or too excited and it starts throwing you off, and you get what's called tunnel vision, and you lose focus. So trying to reel that in can be really difficult.
Massively. I mean, I run a couple of youth football teams or soccer teams myself, and we're not the best. We're always getting tanked and whatever. And I just say to the guys, just go out and enjoy yourself, because when you enjoy it, you will play better, you will be more relaxed, you'll be more zoned in. And like you say, but when the panic stations kick in, like you say, the blinkers kick in, and it's panic stations where they should need to just calm down, take a breath, let's go. And then, like I say, communication's massive as well in any team sport, and that was, I think, why Carnage pulled it out of the hat. They were really on the ball with it.
Yeah, and we'll see how DeathSqaud does in this match, because Gabba Army really put up a massive fight against Trauma. That was actually the first moment we started seeing the walls kind of break down of this fortress that is Trauma. And DeathSqaud, I mean, they've kind of designed this team to go up against Trauma. Trauma coming off of the beta tournament, the victors, and actually getting a gun named after them in the game. They are the top dogs. Whether anyone wants to agree with that or not, it is true. They come out as champions of a beta tourney, and so they are the team to look out for. To see them struggle against Gabba Army, who isn't nearly as high up on that list, is kind of showing like a little bit of weakness, right? Like, we're starting to see Trauma bleed a little bit. Now, they did come out of that game 6-0, but the truth is like we saw some faltering there for sure. So DeathSqaud, seeing that yesterday, I'm sure O'Doyle reserved some of his emotions a little bit yesterday, even though a lot of them came through. But they've got to be excited. NGR, Crocs and Socks, Kaiser, O'Doyle, Doomsday, Diver Boy, BB, Renat, and J Designer. Like this team, they have to be ecstatic going forward. But they gotta beat Gabba's Army here. They don't want to succumb to what Trauma succumbed to, which is you said it before, might be a little bit of cockiness, maybe a little bit more reserved and comfortable, just sitting on their laurels of their performance thus far. And maybe Gabba's Army kind of spiked that fire again. They're like, holy crap, we can't just sit comfortably anymore. So I'm sure DeathSqaud are going to go into this guns a-blazing, and really looking forward to trying to beat Gabba's Army here in preparation for their next fight. So good luck, DeathSqaud. And over on Gabba's army, we got Gabba Kid. I think he's still out. He's got some family life of stuff to deal with, so he's kind of taking a step aside. But we got Leaf, Schlevy, Arab, PJ Lewis, who is also guys help Peaches in game. Rich, Galaxy, Larry, and Mark. Now Gabba's army, I'll go over to the stats now. If we see where Gabba's army currently is, they're kind of in the middle of the pack, right?
They're fifth of the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, they've performed well in general, but not well enough to kind of reach that top mark. Now, granted,
they've been knocking on the door, though, haven't they? That's the thing. They've been knocking on the door, and I think they've just lost. They haven't quite got that consistency that they'd need to just, edge the games in their favour. I think at the moment, obviously with Gabba not being there, that's a big loss. Because obviously, everybody loves Gabba. Hope you get sorted soon, Gab. We love you, mate. We miss you. But at the end of the day, like I say, it's his team, and team captain's not there, and that has a big effect. That does have a big effect. But like I say, they've dug deep. And I say they're still, they've still got a chance of getting fourth. Third's probably going to be a push, but like I say, they've got a chance of, mid-table or at least top half.
Yeah, because you got 2 more weeks after this week, right? Going up against DeathSqaud, I can't see them getting more than 1 or 2, and that's just a prediction based off of past performance. Yeah. But after seeing their performance against Trauma, if they come out with the same vigor, I think they will perform well. DeathSquad's prepared. They saw what they did to Trauma, and they're like, okay, we really cannot sit on our we can't just coast this one. So they're taking this match very seriously, and I think that's off of riding the coattails of the experience that Trauma had. But if we look at where Gabba's army is performing best, it is currently in Search and Destroy. They're nearly 50% success rate in Search and Destroy, so I think that's going to be their bread and butter right there. Yeah. As for Hardpoint and TDM, it looks as though Hardpoint is a little bit more challenging for them as opposed to TDM. Of course, we see that with some other teams, right? Like I believe Devil Spit, they did, until this past week, they didn't win one team deathmatch at all. Wow. And they finally won their first one. But Hardpoint, they performed admirably at almost every single time. So some teams perform far better on certain game modes than others. So tonight or today, wherever you are in the world, it's going to be exciting, interesting. Be sure to strap on in.
Well, I've got my drink. I've got my beer.
Hey,
I've got popcorn. I'm ready, mate. I'm in. Sign me in. Come on, let's go.
All right. So
just quickly going back to Gabba's team, though. Like you say, they've got nothing to lose. They've got nothing to lose. They go out there. The pressure is on DeathSqaud. They've got to pull out the result, because, like I say, any chinks in the armor, like I say, are starting to show. So, like I say, it's down to them, and best luck to both teams, because I'm hoping it's going to be a cracker.
I gotta get a new link for O'Doyle. He's struggling with Twitch. Let's see. Let me actually just type this in. This is the challenge when something isn't working. So there's an upside to. Hey, there he is. There's an upside to the future of not just this title. Of course, this title's going places, but at the same time, the private matches. There are plans on having a spectator cam, which will actually relieve a lot of the players of any kind of responsibilities, because we can pretty much host the lobbies, or we would be able to host the lobbies and get all that sorted for everybody. So hopefully after this season, we can make it so that you guys can just focus on the gameplay, and we will focus on everything else. So I'm gonna. Don't worry, the match has not started yet. For all those who think it might be a little delayed, I've been checking.
You're not late.
We have Schlevy's stream up, so I've been keeping an eye on that. But it does look like okay. So we got coverage on both. Usually Twitch and YouTube, they don't align very well in terms of time. So I'll keep an eye on that, folks, and I'll try to make it a good viewing experience for you. But big shout out to everybody in chat. We got Vicky, who donated. There's gifted subbed so many times, five of those, and I believe Dinko did as well. And he said that he's still on vacation. Can't wait for you to come back, man. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. I know Puddles is also on vacation, enjoying that beautiful landscape that she's at. Casper said he doesn't hate stats. God bless you, man. Appreciate you. G-String. Who's Mick? He's only a legend in the Alvo community. One of the original beta testers and probably one of the most delightful characters that you'll come across. Always positive, always exciting.
Somebody else just come into the stream. Sorry, are you talking about somebody else?
He's behind you, Imposter Mick.
Who is it? Panto season. He's behind you. I'm not falling for that old chestnut.
Oh, you know what? I also have to get this new perspective up. Also, Snug is a first-time chatter here. I'm sure you've been following for a bit, but first-time chatter. If you guys over on Twitch or on YouTube, we are on all platforms. If you have not said hello, please consider doing so. Here on Amateur Hour, we like to welcome everybody individually. So if you haven't had a chance, if you're a little shy, don't worry about it. We ain't gonna pick on you hard.
I will.
Yeah, like I said, not too hard. What's up, Hoob, over on YouTube, and Arab is also over there. All right, so we're starting off on Hangar for Search and Destroy. I don't know how I feel about this one. I like Hangar for Hardpoint, but Search and Destroy, this is interesting, in my opinion. Let's go on into the match. It's about to kick off.
Who actually picks the actual game, the actual maps then? Is it already predetermined?
So no, it's not typically predetermined. I gotta make sure the YouTube's up. Okay, yeah. Increase that. So it's not predetermined, but the team that does pick the first map is the one who's hosting.
Right, got you.
So I believe DeathSqaud is hosting right now, so this would ultimately be their pick. Try to figure out if I can... Guys, let me know if the audio is kind of garbo. I boosted the stream audio as much as I could. And it looks like they already got the plant. This is a very tough spot. I mean, you could tuck yourself in so many different corners in this location.
That's a very nasty little spot there to pick out. Like I say, I've only played Hangar a couple of times until that was quick. Bloody hell.
Yeah, DeathSqaud getting a quick win there.
Wow.
Whole team swipe over on Gabba's army. They only lost one for DeathSqaud.
We like to do that on the fly. Not bad.
No.
So they're coming out all guns blazing, literally. This is a statement of content already.
How you feeling, babe? You poorly? Someone down outside.
That's by Schlevy and Arab. They both take out a member of DeathSqaud, so they're already starting off strong on this second round.
He's right at the window half of the plane.
Yeah, I saw that. He moved.
Yeah. Fucking got me. And there was another one.
From here.
Yeah, softly catching a monkey on this one. I think it's literally you pop your head out, you are in the firing line.
Yeah, there are so many locations you can dip and hide behind, but at the same time, as soon as you move, like you just said, you're in line of sight.
As soon as you come out of any sort of position, you're in open season. It is it's open but in close quarters at the same time. It's a very well thought map.
Alright, I got Odor. He's down in the pit.
Two members left. Project and Arab on Gabba's army. Try to survive this.
Damn, he got me.
They are defending.
There's one.
I don't believe the bomb has not been planted yet, so they are just sitting back waiting. Arab, the last member alive now. It's planted on the B site, which is on the plane. He's on the first floor. He's going to have to find his way, navigate upstairs, but... Ooh, 1v1. Arab versus NGR.
Just got to approach him correctly.
Yeah.
Don't know where he is.
Yeah, he's by B.
This could end a very beautiful friendship.
I think he is. I think he's in that corner by the lockers. It's where he was when I got a glimpse of it.
Whoever will be the victor. It's actually the locker room. I thought it was up in the plane from that one perspective.
It looked like it from that angle, yeah.
You
got it 1 second.
Oh, not able to do so.
I thought if we picked it up,
Unfortunate there. It was a very good effort. I think after a particular time, and that's what I was going to say. Oh boy. Is his stream dying?
I hope not. Yeah, it's
all right, I'll fix that. We'll stick on Gabba's army for now.
Everybody using their internet on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I guess so.
Waiting for the bar. I don't know why they're coming away.
I was gonna say, at some point, you start competing not just against the player, but also the clock.
Yes.
One coming
Yes,
in.
that's
I got two.
to be
There's one
fair,
going back in
the
the
amount
building.
of times we played S&D and you've been wiped out and then they just can't get to the bomb quick enough,
Silver
it's
down
very
above you.
satisfying. It's probably more satisfying than getting an ace or whatever, so...
Yeah, he's above you on the catwalk. On the catwalk. Now he's down on the ground.
All right, we'll switch perspectives. It does look like O'Doyle was already. Oh wait, hold on. This might be the last one. Yikes.
And
That stream is wicked far behind.
I'm trying to find him.
Okay, so 32 seconds on the clock to get to the bomb.
He's right on in the corner by the bomb.
Oh, he's got him, Brandon, back under the old hangar. Has he got enough time to get around and finish this one off?
Yeah, he's in the building, by the way.
One
KG, but he...
Schlevy, you're good where you are, I believe. All right.
Where is that player? He's going for the defuse. He's
Oh,
got
he's
7 seconds
it.
left. Can Schlevy get it? Without getting
Three,
tagged, mind
two,
you, he gets
Hey,
it!
he's got it!
Buddy.
Wow!
Great
many of
cover, young
those.
man. Great cover. Lovely sweep from the outside of the hangar. He picked off 2, finished it off with a lovely
Good work,
deactivation. Good lad.
Wow, and that is so stressful because, I mean, with that C4 in your hand, like, or detonator in your hand, there's no shooting, there's no protecting yourself.
This is it. You can't even draw a pistol or anything. You are basically at the lap of the gods. You've got to be so careful. It's one thing I'd always ask Steve to do. Can we have a pistol in one hand while we're deactivating? Then he says, well, how do you punch the keys in? I said, well, he does it automatically, Steve. I don't need to do it.
I would
Is
smash
that
the
really-
buttons with your gun.
Oh, yeah, I'll just smash it on the floor or, face recognition. I don't care. Flipping heck.
At the front.
Oh,
There's one on top of
well, I've not
plane.
spoken to Steve in ages. Hope he's
Keep
all right.
There's
Plane,
one
yeah.
at
But,
A. There's one at A right now.
No, like I say, it leaves you completely exposed. Even when you've done all the hard work of getting to the bomb, there's some cheeky sod in the corner who just goes, pop, straight in the head. Thank you.
Hey, don't go. up
Puddles,
there.
thank you. Enjoy the weather where you
He's
are.
not on
This
the
will
top,
definitely
he's
be up
looking
for
at
you
the
to
open
watch
door.
a little bit later.
He's looking right at you. I wouldn't.
You
care.
can hear
Running
Arab,
A.
yeah, Arab is
Running
playing,
A.
so you will
On top of the
absolutely
plane,
hear
too.
him,
They're
Hoop.
both looking, Herb. Don't pop out. On
Hey,
top.
Hoob, how you doing,
Right
matey?
there.
Not seen you in a while. Hope you and the kids are okay.
I'm going around.
All right, least distracting him.
What's going on, Punishment? Welcome.
You probably.
Looks like it's a 2v3 DeathSqaud.
Morning.
That
Good.
fucking
Must
shot.
be an
There's a guy on
Australian.
top of
Yeah,
the plane
same.
and right under him.
No, he's probably just waking up
There's
now.
one running out.
What's up, man?
Top side's looking at you.
BB, how you doing, fella? Hope you're well, young man.
On the top of the plane, towards you.
DeathSqaud with the player advantage over
Nice
Arab and
shot.
Leaf, but
Still inside
can't
the
sleep
plane.
on Leaf. He is absolute
One
legend.
at
As I say
private
that, though,
jet.
he gets
One at
eliminated.
private
But it's
jet.
good exchange, though. He
Oh,
does take someone with
yes.
him.
How many have I got? One is playing
One
and
of them
one
left.
private.
Now it's a
Yeah.
1v1, Arab versus Diver Boy.
Watching you.
Bets on the table. Who's going to win this one?
He's turning the
Arab
corner.
going in to
Guys
get the
coming
plant
in.
in the
You're
locker
right.
room.
Yep.
I'm dead.
He gets
Oh.
tagged.
The only one left.
Again,
that's what I'm saying,
again,
only
it's
one
that. It's just that moment. If you can cover the corners in either A or B on any map, you know, it's just walking into an absolute trap. But
left.
like you say, if you've got cover, if you've got an extra man with you to take that spare one out, it would make a massive difference. One-on-one planting is very hard indeed, unless you're on the other side of the map and you manage to
Definitely somebody
to
shooting
avoid everybody else.
Yeah, he's down on the
Yeah, it
floor.
comes down to those comms, right? With your teammates who are dead, it's important that you're
There's
very
one in the
clear
plane,
on
second
where
floor,
the
Doyle.
person is, so that will give them the degree of confidence to either try to
Correct.
go for the bomb or not.
One back on top of plane.
Yeah, comms is key, absolute 100%. No matter how good a shot you are, if you're blindsided, it's not helpful at all.
Oh shit.
But these guys know all the nooks and crannies of these maps.
Dude, with a beautiful shot.
Yes. Thank you very much and good night. He's on his own though, unfortunately.
Again.
Yeah, they do take out Doom. Leaf left alive to take on 4 more members of DeathSqaud.
Top of plane over to you.
Tall order.
Right next to the catwalk, Leaf.
Right now they are down
Pick
3-1 overall in this exchange on S&D.
Right by you. The front of the plane.
2 outside.
His 4-on-1 leaf. Good luck.
And they lose it here. Doyle getting a nice shot on
Yeah.
Leaf. And folks, I will give you a perspective from DeathSqaud next time. I promise. There is just so behind right now. I mean, this is significant. I don't know how to manage this.
Go quick before they get set up. Because once it's set up,
This will be difficult. So I think we're just going to switch round or mode for mode. So right now, Search and Destroy will stay on Gabba's army. When we switch over to Hardpoint, we'll cover DeathSqaud.
Watching top.
They're in the plane.
And hopefully shortly thereafter, when we get to TDM, we'll switch back to Gabba's army, and we should already be loaded in. That's how far behind it is.
Yeah, difficult, but we'll try our best to keep you up to date, guys. What's caring? So O'Doyle was struggling to see the scoreboard yesterday. He was, who's winning? I mean, you're doing the show, mate. Get your act together. Can you read? Can you read?
Oh, it's too much. It's so funny. O'Doyle doing a lot of damage here. He does get a grenade and a
just keep on going from going up
shot on his opponent.
Yeah, they came in the last underneath.
Okay, so he's got to.
From the right. Behind you.
We're going for the field.
They're going up A. Yeah, they're going up.
Is he too far away to protect that bomb? If somebody's going to nip in and get in there.
Right in the box, straight ahead of you.
Yeah, such a.
Oh, he's got him. Yeah, yeah. He was too. To be fair, if you're that far away from the bomb, I would say if you get deactivation or, like I say, get picked off trying to get to it, it's so difficult. And like you say, that's where you need to have as many team members with you as possible.
Yeah, try to approach the bomb from that angle, from that direction. Like the only option he had was to go up that stairwell. He could have gone over to the work table, but that would have taken a significant amount of time. Instead of sliding onto the plane, he could have gone up to the office and taken that route. He probably would have had a much easier angle. But again, it's risky because as soon as you go up those office stairs, you're exposed. And if someone has that corner box area, you're an open target.
It's risk and reward, though, isn't it? At the end of the day, you're down to your 20 seconds to get to the bomb. You've got to peg it. You've absolutely got to peg it. But like you say, without any sort of caution, it's very difficult.
I'll be taking out MGR, and I believe that there were a couple other eliminations on DeathSqaud. Yes, that is true. 4 against 2 now.
2 in the pit.
Peaches, come to you.
So can they make the advantage pay?
Come to you again, Peaches, from the pit. He's sliding.
Now, with them having 1 on the camera, which is a bonus, because you can still jump around and you can control the other 4, which is nice. Now it's 4-1, so this is their chance to nick one back.
Yeah. Oh my God. Doom. Left alone. Oh, jeez.
But don't count your chickens, because this guy can play.
He's coming to you, Galaxy.
But they're playing cagey at the moment.
Where?
Against that wall.
This is smart, though. They're on defense. No need to search for that guy. I mean, if he gets the plant, you know where he's going to be sitting.
Slide through the door? Or go
especially when you've got the extra plays to do the sweep on him. Like I say, even if you lose a couple guys, there's somebody going to take him out eventually. There we go. Well done.
All right, they get another win. Point difference to 3. 5-2. Looking good.
Is the comeback on? Is the comeback on, guys? Put it in the chat. Let's go. Like and subscribe.
Yeah,
like a real YouTuber.
Gabba's army is really putting up a fight here.
They're not giving it.
This is the exact reason why you can't sit on any team. We thought, there were a couple of teams that might not perform nearly as well against some of these more, I don't know, diabolical, tough teams. But Gabba's army has really come into their own halfway through the season, and they're showing up.
This is it. They can use this as part, when they're playing the teams around them. These are the sort of matches where they can be a little bit, not necessarily cagey, but they can just say, we'll try another tactic. Will this give us an advantage against other teams? Because they know the top 2 teams are wiping the floor with everybody left, right, and centre. So it's down to them. Can we use a different tactic that may come in handy in later rounds?
And with that being said, there are 3 members left on Gabba's army. I think only to 1. I saw
I
put in some work.
Somebody got
Yeah, Diver Boy left.
Oh, no, it's 1-1. It's now 1v1.
1 left, Leaf.
He's at the back door.
Reverse Leaf.
And there
Leaf loses. Oh, unfortunate.
Even though I was
And that's overall loss there for Gabba's army. But man, what a fight. What a good attempt. I mean, they got
positives. They're going to have to take positives from that because, like I say, they weren't completely wiped out and they had some really good positions to play from. So, again, as with any game, they've got to analyse what they did right, what they did wrong, and hopefully put more things right than they did wrong.
And here's another silver lining. With all that being said and done, the score doesn't show how many eliminations there were. I mean,
No.
Gabba's army really got them down to the last player multiple times. So there wasn't a moment there where, you know, DeathSqaud were like, okay, this is easy, this is fine, we could just chill, do our thing. No, every single moment it came down to like almost every single time it came down to a 1v1.
But it's those fine margins, isn't it? It's those fine margins that if you can just, you know, instead of being 2v1, they were 3v1, then that makes a big difference for you. And when you're planting or defending, you've got that extra man just to drop back or go in as a pair and just, you know, wipe out the location. So, you know, it's swings and roundabouts. They've got to learn from it. They've got to communicate. And like you say, that, you know, previously on their S&D levels. So, you know, that's probably, let's say, they're stronger. Like you said earlier, that is their stronger game mode.
Yeah, and I could say that DeathSqaud, I mean, if regardless of the stats, because obviously they're undefeated right now, so regardless of the stats, what I can say is that having played with DeathSqaud numerous times, not only in publics, but also during the beta tourney, they're strong. One of their stronger points, aside from S&D being a good one for them, hardpoint is an area where they thrive. They love playing hardpoint. Many of the players on DeathSqaud, as one of the game modes they select on a regular basis when they're voting for what mode to play in publics. Now, Team Deathmatch, everybody's accustomed to that. Everybody knows that, and I think they'll perform admirably there. But I also think Gabba's army is going to perform just as well in Team Deathmatch because, you know, we do have a lot of free-for-all players there who know how to run the maps. They know how to handle themselves. But the one thing that they are going to have to keep in mind for Gabba's army anyway, they are going to have to stick together a little bit more. Double firing on their opponent, taking their time, maybe peeking some corners, maybe not rush into certain locations, going from cover to cover. Because if you're in free-for-all, you can't really go to cover, right? There's no one to watch your six. So you have to just kind of run around. You can't do that in Team Deathmatch. You have to be able to, because you're going to have a team like what we see on Town happen on a regular basis. They're going to hold the ambulance or the police cars, that area, or they're going to hold a market or fountain location.
Yes.
And you really have to, you can't just run in there. They're going to be sitting.
No. And I think that's where Carnage got their probably their inspiration from. They held back more than what they did previously because they thought, well, hold on a minute, we're running into an absolute brick wall here. What is the point? You know, and like you say, at the end of the day, they managed to get the numbers up in their favour, and then they could sit back and they're right. Come on, let's be having you, because at the end of the day, you know, if you're not dying, you're not losing. So, you know, it's like anything else. You know, you got to shoot to score.
That saying made me think of every time I was like, Titch, what do they have? What does this team have to do differently than they did the first time? And his response, his response always is a wonderful die less.
Stop getting shot, mate. It's quite simple, really. Stop. You know, that's where the points come from. I mean, like you say, I'd love to see a tournament where friendly fire's involved. That would be a very interesting. Because, like you say, the only thing you can really, you know, affect your teammates is flashes and fire. But like you say, it's just unfortunate there's no crossfire, because that would make it even more strategic. Because like you say, you've got no problem. I can just spray anywhere, and you know you're not going to hit your teammates. So
I could say this much. That has been discussed. There's already in the beta testing, as I'm sure you're aware, there's already new settings that have been added to the private lobby, which is awesome. And I know that a friendly fire option is discussed. So
it's been looked at. Okay.
Yeah, perhaps in the future we're going to have a lot of customization available to us, and we could see a very different league play in the future.
Yeah, that's good. I like the sound of that. Looks like DeathSqaud have already got their feet on the under the table already in this location.
Yeah, finally they're taking off their pedestal here, and it has been retaken by Gabba's army. For how long, we'll have to wait and see, but they've already gained a fairly decent lead. Doyle looks like he's rotating around, and I talk about perimeter play on a regular basis. He is very, very good at either holding the point or managing the perimeter, and it looks like he's poised to kind of cut everybody off. This is the weight room exercise area on retreat is one of the locations where there's a lot of cross happening. People are going from one location to the other. So this is actually a very key spot to be in. As you see, he's just picking people off one by one. They now know he's up there. and he's already got his 3 kill streak, so he heals up real quick, and he's right back in the fight.
Well, this is it. When you can hold a location like that, it's like I say, if it's not there, it's underneath the treadmills in that corner. Because as soon as you come around that corner, you're picked off, you know, with a decent headshot. Again, like I say, this intersection here is just murder monastery. You know, it's just absolute carnage. I mean, look at him. He's absolutely throwing fire like there's no tomorrow, bless him. Oh, he's been took out. But my God, he was on the full street there. He's almost onto the turret or stroke dogs, depending what he's actually selected.
I think he's more of a defense turret kind of guy. But he put up a considerable number of eliminations there, which allowed them to cap this point with a lot of confidence. This is going to give them a big lead. Now he's rotated back on point, now knowing that his perch has been compromised. He doesn't have the most kills, but he definitely gained his team great opportunity to get 98 points in total.
98 to 4. 98 to 4. Bloody hell. Oh, what's happening? We're losing some people. Oh, they've jumped out. There've been some disconnections.
Jeez Louise, they just trickled out one by one.
Yeah.
And it's not so like here's a situation like which there's gonna be some changes in the rules in the future, of course, but that's why there's a test league, so we can see what works, what doesn't work, what we're gonna have to consider. But this is one of those situations where like they were so far in the lead, why would they want to drop out? Why would they want to compromise that, right? So like we can eliminate the implication that well, they had bad spawns, they were behind or whatever. No, this is legitimately, sometimes this stuff just happens.
Yeah, which is, that's technology. It's just, we rely on it so much. It's, when it does go down, we throw, toys and dummies out the pram like nobody's business. But, and like I say, that's the beauty of the test league. It's just finding those, chinks in the armor and hopefully get them patched up sooner rather than later, because eventually it will obviously go into the normal game and everybody will benefit from it, not just from the league point of view.
100%. A few more shout outs to people in chat. Titch did come in here and said that boy, O'Doyle is not looking as well these days.
It made me laugh actually yesterday. Diver's going, who's that face floating in the top screen? I goes, that's Wolf. He goes, has he dyed his hair? I don't think he's dyed his hair at all. What are you talking about, you weirdo?
Yeah, no, that was a picture from back in my youth. It was probably like 10 years ago now. But yeah, I styled my hair differently, and then as you get older, you either go bald and you shave your head, or you're just like you stop fighting with your hair. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things.
Well, I think I outgrew my hair. I think I actually grown too high. My hair's just gone like that. It's just had enough. I don't want to deal with sunlight ever again. Thank you very much.
I feel like my brother, he used to have hair like in our family. Like we just have genes for like really thick, good hair, right? But he got my mother's genes, which is the men usually have significant hair loss. But he grew it all out of his face. So it's like when I was a kid, I was like, it's going in through your head, out your face. Like it's just decided to, I don't like the top anymore. We're going to take the shade,
It's like gravity, mate. It's either hair for men or boobs for women, Gravity just goes, it's unbelievable.
Yep. But, nothing stays perky forever.
I've got massive hairy legs, mate. I'm telling you, I look like a Yeti. I really do. But anyway, moving on.
What's going on,
Hi,
Baby
Smalls?
Smalls? Right, how's it going? So just as a reminder to everybody, we are live on all platforms. Here on Twitch is under AH Commentary. If you guys haven't already given us a follow, please consider doing so. If we haven't earned it, hopefully by the end of the stream, we have. And be sure to hit that notification bell, because we are not really advertising super significantly on our Facebook group right now, considering that this is a test league and we're just, we're hoping to bring this, game to a greater audience. But ultimately, we're trying to do that by hitting up all the Alvo channels. And that being said, we're live over on YouTube. If you guys are over there, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Alvo channel. Also, give this video a thumbs up. That's going to really help the algorithm. We're also live over on TikTok. Now, I don't have a personal account over on TikTok, but the Alvo team does. So if you're watching from the TikTok side of things, hopefully you're enjoying it. We got Prince over there. We got No Man's playing it. What's going on? We got Phoenix as well. So a couple of people in here. Thank you so much for the donations, gifts. I'm screwing up. Is it gifts? What is it? What is the currency over on TikTok?
It's probably a ham sandwich and a cheese cob, and a cheese cob, mate. It could be anything. Oh no, it's Hungarian luncheon vouchers, whatever. We'll take anything, mate. You know.
Pastrami and provolone, please.
Pineapple on the pizza.
Yes, I am one of those, and it is not wrong. It is not blasphemous.
No,
Delicious.
no. Bolognese pizza, mate. That's the way forward. Bolognese pizza.
But thank you for the donations over there. Greatly appreciated, Prince. You are a legend, absolutely. And No Man's Planet, he's pretty much head of the community team, community management team, and advertising and stuff for the team. He puts out a lot of images. He's helped with the website. He does a lot of work here on the TikTok. I mean, a lot. So you probably recognize his face if you know the name, and then you know the face. Yeah, he's a significant figure.
And you can also follow him on his OnlyFans channel as well.
100%. Yep. It does look like excuse me. It does look like O'Doyle stream didn't go down, but he's resetting the app. I think everybody's feeling that's necessary at this point. So I'm
turn it off and on.
Yeah. I'm gonna just hide that for now, folks. So you don't have this bright white light. I also want to give a shout out to excuse me. Hold on 1 second. Something caught my throat there. I want to give a shout. Please. Wait, hold on. Other side. There we go. I want to give a shout out to GSPL, the Gaming Synergy Pro League. They're our official partners. We've been partnered with them for a couple of years now. We casted some of the games that they provide league services to, and we'll be providing services to the Alvo game in the future. They are one of the, I don't want to say one of the key people right now running the test league, but they have had influence. So big shout out to them. I can't wait to see what they got in store for us for the future. High Blocks is one of our sponsors for one of our previous seasons. And I know that they want to continue that that service and that sponsorship with GSPL in the future. So if you guys want to check out some of their stuff, they actually put out some PSVR 2 equipment, which is really, really cool. You just go over to the Facebook page and you guys will be able to find them there. They got some really cool stuff. Charging docks, equipment for like, I don't have my Quest controllers here, but Quest handles, charging docks for the Quest and the PSVR 2. Really cool, really sleek, and relatively cheap. So big shout outs to them. And last shout out I want to give is to Raise Energy or Rep Sports. We really push some of their energy drinks because, man, they are delicious. And we have a promo code here for Amateur Hour Commentary. If you go to the website, whatever you decide to purchase, US only, unfortunately, hopefully next year international. But if you reside in the US, go to repsports.com. Anything that you throw in your shopping cart, use promo code AHC at checkout for 15% off the entire purchase. It's a great deal. I use it myself. Yes, I am taking advantage of the code being present. And it saves me a bunch of money, and you will not be dissatisfied with the energy drinks that they make. They're delicious. They have no artificial coloring or flavoring, and they don't give you that crash that some energy drinks give you. It's a really good alternative. So be sure to check it out.
And don't buy Prime. Stop buying Prime. Bloody sick to death of the stuff. It's horrible. I actually creosote my fence with that stuff. It's crap.
I don't know Prime.
Oh, the Sidemen. Oh, it's massive. Oh, Prime. Just everybody goes mad for it. It's just ridiculous. It's like, I don't know, as we like to call truckers' Tizer.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
All right. We back in room. Yes. I see that now, sir. Apart from getting owned. Well, perhaps the fact that people dropped, we have to consider that maybe there's a little bit of latency there. Where's your poll? Well, I had a poll up, bro. The problem is you came in late, so you couldn't cast your vote. So unfortunate for you. Maybe if you decided to show up on time every once in a while. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't vote Conservative. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be.
Let's see. Need a pineapple poll. Oh, that poll. Okay, my bad. Maybe I'm not doing my job. How about that? I'll admit when I'm wrong. Need a pineapple poll to put people in the place.
You've got to have pineapple on pizza. It's one of your 5 a day, mate. Come on.
I mean, do we really need that poll though? I mean, we have an emoji.
Do it.
Don't we already have an emote for it? I thought we did. Did we get rid of the pineapple emote? Damn.
What, pineapple squelchers? Got to bring back pineapple squelchers.
We had a little pineapple, like I put together an emote. It was a pineapple literally sitting on top of a pizza, simply because, or for the exact reason of this conversation, people kept getting on our case about liking pineapple on pizza. And we were trying to convince everybody, no, it's legitimately delicious. It sweetens the sauce even more, gives you that little citrusy tang, and then you got ham on top of it. If you have ham, now you got that salty bit. You got the sweet and salty on top of a pie. It's amazing.
We've just lost the entire Italian contingent of watchers now. They've just disappeared. They've delisted us. They're going to send over all the. There's going to be a lawsuit in about 10 minutes. I'll guarantee it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. There it is. See, Titch has it. It's a gen. I thought you made that. Well, I guess I give you way too much credit then.
Oh, I like that.
Right. So if you guys like pineapple on pizza, be sure to use that in chat now. We're going to be going back into retreat for our second attempt at hardpoint, where DeathSqaud had a considerable lead. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a disconnect, so we have to start it over. But here we go. Just as a reminder to everybody, there is a significant time lapse between Twitch and YouTube, so I will be covering mostly DeathSqaud. I can, since it's hard point, I can switch a little bit between the two, so I will try to do that. But do keep in mind, I'll probably keep it on DeathSqaud for the majority. Pineapple and anchovies, Hoob, you've taken it too far. You've taken it I've had anchovies on pizza. I don't mind it. Way too salty, if you ask me. You only need like 2 or 3 on a slice. But don't do pineapple that way, man.
No, that's taking it too far. Okay, looks like we've got a few exchanges kicking in at the moment, so this one's looking a little bit more a tighter scrap at the minute.
Switch over to Schlevy's here, just to kind of gain some perspective. Good hand.
Can't see the other score. That's the only problem. Trying to keep up the numbers.
Yeah, that's another challenge for people streaming. You get so wrapped up in what's going on. You tend to not look at the scoreboard very much until like near the end.
No. You probably look at it maybe every quarter of the match, just to see where the position is.
Yeah, that does make it difficult for us commentators, but I'd rather they focus on the play. We'll figure out the score later.
That's it. No, that's their job. That's their job. It's they sort of score out between them and they communicate that between them as part of the strategy.
Nice play there by O'Doyle, taking 2 out.
Taking 2, yeah, he's on it.
Okay, I'm gonna throw some smoke through here, guys.
Interesting point. I mean, is it O'Doyle using a Pro Tube or anything? Is he using a stock of any kind? Because, like I say, it's
he's not
something
using...
I struggle with the Quest controllers is the amount of wobble.
I don't think he actually runs with a stock, but he also doesn't run with the immersive playstyle on. He runs with the automatic. So you'll see he's got that animation going, which makes it a little bit easier, I guess, in terms of, aiming and controlling, because it's not overly dependent on one hand or the other. It's a much easier balance.
It's muscle memory at the end of the day, isn't it? It's just practice. And a lot of people who come on board do say, oh my God, I get killed within 30 seconds. As I say to most people, it took me a week to get my first kill. when I was in the beta. So at the end of the day, you just have to stick with it. You just get mullered. I mean, to be fair, it was in the original house map, but we'll move on. Okay, so looks like everybody's. It was.
You really
it
want
was
that
it.
house map back, don't you?
No. Yes. Of course I do. Of course I do. It was superbly silly, mate. It was run around with grenades all day. It was fabulous. I think I just ended up losing 20 pounds in weight just laughing. I think I got a 6-pack from the amount of shits and giggles I got from that. It was great. Okay, 115 to 40, I think, by look at the scores there. DeathSqaud are definitely
dominating still, but
Yeah.
I can say that it's a little bit more balanced than what we saw before,
Yes.
where it was in the hundreds to what, 7?
Yeah, it was miles difference. It was like half. They were halfway there and they hadn't even registered a point.
We need all 6, so.
Okay, he's playing it KG, waiting for the new spawn. But also, oh yeah, picked off from behind.
Backside.
I mean, once you get into the rhythm of this game, it is frantic, absolutely frantic. And as I know, using the move controllers, it's, you know, you've got to be on your ball, or it's you just get absolutely mullered. Like I say, I'm 51 years old, so a lot of these youngsters just, you know, it's secondary to them. I just want to use an old Commodore 64 controller and just use one button and a stick. I'll be happy with that.
Could you imagine trying to do that here?
The Atari joystick. I know. It'd be impossible. Just waving it in the air, going, pick it up, move. Oh dear. Okay, so Doyle's still picking off these outsiders back into the square. Looks like he's joined with somebody. Yeah, they definitely.
I wonder if you could mod those
138 to 44.
controllers so that you could actually have 2 sticks. Could you imagine? 2 sticks and 2 buttons? You just need to shoot. You don't need to throw grenades. Forget it.
Yeah, no. Why would you want to throw grenades? That's just silly. I don't do pineapple squelches anymore. I've stopped doing that.
You know, for someone who has been, you know, has had a very high KD in most of their matches, right now O'Doyle's still sitting in single digits for his kills. I think he's kind of been the point runner up in this.
I think he's I think he's going in full metal jacket on this one, because obviously he's trying to get the point back by wiping out the people within the actual zone, so that the guys can then come back in and start the point train. Because like I say, they are going in as a unit. Yeah, he's coming out of the wide angle, but obviously yeah. But it doesn't really matter in this game, though, does it? I mean, KD doesn't really matter to anybody. It's just a matter of getting the points on the board and getting that win. And at the end of the day, if you sacrifice yourself as part of that team, then that's the way it goes.
And I think that's the role he's kind of taken on this time around. Usually he is a perimeter player, but I think he's decided to try to be the point grabber as opposed to the perimeter player, which is probably why we see a very different KD for him at the moment.
Yeah. Definitely playing a different style. I mean, like you say, you've got your free-for-all players, you've got your team deathmatch players, and your hard points, and your you know, S&D players. It's almost like being a golfer, isn't it? You know, some is better at putting than driving, some is better than driving than chipping. You know, if the all-round game is the important element. If you can play all maps and all game modes well, you're in good stead. Because, like you say, some people can play a particular map really well. Give them another map, they're completely rubbish. So, if you can get that all-round game in, it really does add an extra metal to your game. No doubt about that.
O'Doyle in very good position, rotates appropriately.
Nice.
Able to get 2 eliminations there. He's going to try to control this. It is a very tricky spot. I mean, it's a wide area that you can cover, but a lot of the areas are open space. Very few spots of cover.
Yeah, tucking underneath the treadmills and stuff isn't too bad actually, because it does stop you getting that top elevation from that 3rd floor. Like you say, they tried to get into that corner and he's trying to take a couple of them out. And again, as long as the communications are bob on, you know, knowing where your guys are, get as many, you know, say, as many seconds in that zone as possible.
Yeah, I think they only got 10 seconds left to get a point victory. I don't think this one's going to go to time unless Gabba's army can really come back fiercely and somehow get 100 points under their belt. It only takes a couple of point grabs, full point grabs, but I don't think that's going to happen here. Point has rotated. I think only a couple of seconds left necessary for DeathSqaud. It's in the cafe. You need to clear this out and hold it for a few seconds, and they are good to go.
It's a pity you don't get an acceleration on points for more people in the square. You know, if you get 4 in, you get a 4 times boost rather than a 1 times, because it makes no difference, does it? If it's 1 in or there's all 4 of you in, there's no acceleration of the hard point numbers. But that's just how it is. But I suppose it gives that idea. You can then spread out to cover that one man who's actually in that square.
At present, no, you're correct. That's how it's. That's kind of how it plays out. The number of players on point doesn't really matter. It doesn't accelerate anything. But I know it's been discussed. And another thing is people were curious to know how long they were sitting on point. Because in other hard point modes, you get to see how long, like who had point control most of the time. Who is the control point person. Those stats actually exist. They weren't put up on the scoreboard. So I know that those points are going to be added to the scoreboard, so we'll be able to see that in the future. And as for the acceleration of per player on the point, I know that was also discussed. So there's a strong possibility that might come in.
I suppose then the day you don't overcomplicate matters either, do you? You want a good game mode which is easy to understand and easy to execute. When it starts getting complicated, it takes the fun out of it, and it's like, I'm old, I'm decrepit, I've got knees of an 80-year-old, I'm buggered. I don't want to fanny about. I just get in there, smash a few people, and where you go, wallop. So it's like you say, I'm a simple guy of simple means, and I've got a face for radio and a voice for text. But it's the way it goes.
Every time you say voice for text, I'm just like...
I use it all the time. I keep telling my guys at work, I'm 18 with 32 years experience, but...
There you go. You're young at heart. Age is only a number, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, no. I don't... I'm growing old disgracefully, mate. Absolutely. Like you say, I'm here for the shits and giggles and nothing more.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I was saying earlier, Vicky. It's like he is one of the most genuine, funny, and carefree kind of people. He's been an absolute legend in the Discord and in the beta testing. This guy is he's something else. He's always such a pleasure to be around.
Answers on a postcard to what I am. Nobody knows. One, I don't do normal. That's about as much as I can tell you.
Normal's boring.
Oh dear. Happy days.
We are looking to get into the next round, and I think someone did drop out to come back in.
Okay.
So we might be going to town next for team deathmatch. This is where I think it's going to be a little bit closer at all. I feel as though team deathmatch on town is really going to be dependent on where the team, one of the teams, is going to be covering. In other words, like what point are they going to control? Are they going to have one side of the map? Or are they going to try to control the other side? Whoever is going to get the lead, are they going to continue to try to get those kills? Or are they going to sit back and wait? I know that DeathSqaud has this tendency in the competitive scene anyway, not so much in the publics, but in the competitive scene. Once they get the lead, they try not to push nearly as much. Why compromise yourself? Why get an accidental elimination and close the point gap if you don't need to?
I mean, that's the defensive role, isn't it? Once you've got that lead that you can contain, it's then up to yourselves and your team members just to get yourself in the right place at the right time, communicate what the locations are, get those kill streaks in, and then just basically, fingers crossed, hold it for as long as possible and take as many people out as you can. But, like you say, it only takes a few good shots to flip that location or move that location if the other team says, I'm not having none of this. Throw 3 grenades in, flow them out, spawn switch or whatever. It's a completely different game, and it is that flip flop that's important to get get them out of those corners, get them onto onto a running game.
Now, what I have seen in the past, and I actually we saw this between I believe it was Carnage and Trauma, where players kept pushing up the stairwell from the tunnel towards the bong market or police cars. and Crispy just had that location on lock. There was no chance anyone was getting up there. And you started to see the other team start filtering away from that after a certain number of deaths. I mean, you have to decide those, make those decisions in the moment. Otherwise, if you keep doing the same thing, I mean, now you're just feeding the other team. So it was good on the other team to change their tactic. But I would say you got to try to do that a little bit more rapidly. If you don't have a good shot, if you don't have a good shot on your team and that can get a good shot and maybe take that person off their post, there's no sense in continuing that route.
No, you just put yourself on a conveyor belt and you might as well just go, pop your head up out of the turret, bang, thank you very much. You've got to be, mindful of how quickly these guys can pin you. At the end of the day, like you say, it's a team game. And it's just a matter of getting that communication across to all levels and hopefully learn from it as well. Because if you don't learn from it, you're just going to get mullered. So, but this is the beauty of the Test League. Everybody's going to be learning from it. From the top teams to the bottom teams. Fingers crossed, it's going to make them better in the long run.
I think Schlevy has kind of run out of options here. It didn't matter which lane they chose to take. Gabba's army was struggling to break DeathSqaud from this, from their location. So when you start running out of options, you can't go down Main Street, you can't go well side, you can't go tunnel side. Sooner or later, you just got to kamikaze it and hopefully get a couple eliminations in the process. We saw Schlevy do that just there, but wasn't able to maintain that hold as his team was responding.
A couple of good grenades or a good Molotov is always handy if you get him in the right place, but you've got to get him in the corners because, like I say, as soon as you come over that, there you go, straight in, headshot, bang, gone. They are literally waiting for you to pop out there like ants coming out of a hole. It's
searching for kills now.
It literally is. You've got to be on the metal on this one.
I like what Schlevy's doing here. He's pushing up slowly, knowing like if he runs too fast, someone's already got the peak advantage, so he's able to overtake and he gets the police car location. So maybe if team comes to his aid, they're able to take this spot and maybe tie things up.
Leaf with him at the moment, looks like it.
This truck location here on Bong Market is I mean peak. It's meta.
Stellar. It's once you get over that back of the pineapple truck, it's right next to the pizza truck.
So
then you need an ambulance. The ambulance comes because you've had that anaphylactic shock.
So we are, like I said, a little bit behind. Now that I've switched to Doyle's perspective, DeathSqaud's perspective, it is a little bit behind. So this is before Gabba's army was able to retake that location. And give you guys perspective on how this happened. It's kind of like a replay, you know what I'm saying? Here comes Schlevy wiping them out at the police cars. So nice little recap there. Does look like Gabba's army did lose it again, but it's in contention right now. But this seems to be the point at which everybody's going to try to fight each other.
Got another one. Well,
this seems to be the focal point of the scrap at the moment. Nobody seems to be anywhere, nothing switched to the fountain. This seems to be the point of everybody's focus at the minute. Is getting behind these police cars and getting behind the truck. So can't see them moving far from here.
And it's understandable that this is the primary location that people want to hold because there's no opportunity to flank, right? Like if you're at
you've got nobody coming behind you. You can't. Yeah, there's no. Once you've got that corner, it's pretty much as long as you can get that hold in. Unless you've got a team who are just crack headshots, it is very, very hard to get him out.
Yeah, you only got 3 lanes to worry about, and you can actually cover all 3 lanes from 2 locations.
Yes.
Damn.
He's at the trees doing.
And like you say, at the end of the day, if you can get the numbers together, but then like I say, once you get the guys together, somebody will come straight through the tunnel and wipe you out. It is absolutely, carnage if you're not fully switched on or fully communicating where your guys are.
Big shout out to Death Knight Predator over on TikTok. What is going on? Thank you so much. Sorry if I'm a little late. I tend to not flip over to the TikTok nearly as often. It doesn't come up in my restream feed, so I have to manually go over and check it. But yeah, he's asking about, or he's mentioning something about the Rapture glitch on the roof. Yeah, if you could pull that off with speed, then yeah, that would break this. But that's really hard to do. Titch and I have we reunited in Alvo not that long ago, and we tried it, and yeah, we're a little rusty.
Oh, they're coming from well.
Nothing wrong with a bit of Rapture, is there?
Oh, it's great, man. It's great when you can get up on the roof, man.
Seen plenty of videos in the beta and early doors, so.
What's going on, Karen? Welcome. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, I know. Well, once you get back on PlayStation, we'll give it another shot, man.
Is Titch delusional? Well, we'll put that to the audience as well. Shall we have a nice look at that one? Okay, let's.
Delusions of grandeur, yeah.
One more there. One more, Galaxy.
Nothing wrong with that, sir. Okay.
Well, he believes aspects of him are larger than they actually are. So
he doesn't like pineapple on pizza. What does he know? He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
You naughty, naughty boy.
you taking the rip? Oh dear. Okay,
yeah,
so.
Bye, bud.
Okay, O'Doyle's trying to get back into that corner. Oh, he's took 3 out.
God,
has he got somebody?
His movement is crazy. His ability to sidestep. Oh my God, that flash! My eyes hurt. His ability to sidestep and strafe while shooting is superb, man.
I think that's because I think he's physically moving his body at the same time, so he's giving that extra angle of attack. Where obviously. From a PlayStation point of view, you've probably not got that scope of movement because of the tracking. So I'd be interested to see if get a camera on him as he's playing, what sort of physical movement he is doing in the gameplay. Because I think he is room scaling it rather than just using the sticks. Because like you say, that is quite insane.
Now we can see that there is a bit of a point difference here. I know that Gabba's army has 62. I'm quite certain I saw either high 70s, low 80s for DeathSqaud. I'll have to wait and see on the scoreboard again.
Yeah, I'm trying to run a screen, bigger screen on YouTube, so I can at least click it and then run back.
I'm not even seeing these guys shoot and I'm dead.
But this, I would have to say that this is a bit more close in terms of score than what we saw in the other game modes. Nice grenade.
Yeah,
7.
would have definitely got a percentage in that corner. Now they go. Say everybody's spawning back in the fountain, but they are definitely attacking that corner yet again. That is prime real estate. That is prime real estate.
71 to 116. Yeah.
Yeah.
About 30 kill difference. 40 kill difference. I mean. Jeez, Schlevy just jumped over the RC car.
I saw that. Is he running Ghost at us by some chance?
No. It started following him. He was just able to get out of its radius, so he's able to jump over it and evade it. But unfortunately, getting up on the boxes, it posted him up to get shot. And here you see the RC car coming on in, like, oh, I want the kill. But DeathSqaud taking another win, and that is going to end the first half of this matchup. I would say
had to work for it, though. They've had to work for it. It's not been a rollover, really. It's like you say. I think they've just got that little bit of tension in their in the knowledge that they need to pull this one out of the bag.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of going in the direction that I thought it would, but it's been a lot closer in some regards than I thought it would be. And I'll say that. I'll say again, I believe that has something to do with the fact that DeathSqaud saw what happened to Trauma and how close it got before. That, you know, they're taking this way more seriously and they're sweating probably a little bit more. You can see that, like you said, they are absolutely working for it. They're making sure that they don't take Gabba's army lightly, and they're pulling out all the stops. I mean, normally in like a Publix match, maybe O'Doyle NGR and the lot might not sit at cop cars and ambulance. They might just run around town, enjoy, have fun, whatever. But here they're like, no, we got to stick to our guns. We got to play the game that we know will get us the points. And they did just that.
It's using the strategy that's worked for them in the past. So at the end of the day, it's they're getting the actual numbers on the board. It's difficult because, like you say, Gabba's army. They, no disrespect to the guys, they're picking on top of the league. It's a big ask. It's a big ask. I mean, obviously, when it comes to the final game, that'll be a right humdinger. But the rest of the teams, they've just got to go in there and say, you know what, we've got nothing to fear. We can get in there. We just need a good run, a bit of luck. Because, with any sort of sports, you've got to have a bit of luck, regardless of how skillful the other teams are. And if you get that bit of luck on your side, bang, it can swing a game so quickly.
We'll see if the second half is more in favor of Gabba's army. I know there's going to be a server change since both teams have players on opposite sides of the world. So this is the way that we balance it out. No one uses USW. I don't think you'll ever see that, but that is available if that is in your region. I believe that's the Asian region, so around like Japan, China, Korea. So you'll probably see a lot of people running on that server. But for our purposes, we've been running US, EU to split the difference. Now, if both teams are from one region, there's no need for a server switch. That is one thing that I don't know if people knew about, but there was one match where it was all NA players, all US players, and they did stick to just one server. They did swap out who is the server host, of course, but they didn't switch regions. So here, I believe, though, we are going to be switching regions. And Karen, this is Move Master Mick, or Plank, or he goes by many names, but he was one of the original beta testers, and he was known for his skill with the wands from the PS3 era.
Wands?
The flea market dildo sticks.
Flea market dildos, mate. Come on, get it right. I can do my Madonna impression. That's how I play. When I'm playing. If anybody sees what I'm doing, what up, dealer boppers, what up?
What's going on, Royalty? How's it going? Yeah. Those he was best known for those because he was you were one of the original testers of the Move controllers. You were pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult. I said to Steve, has anybody else tested the? Because everybody was just running on the aim.
Right.
And I says, well, have you used the others? Because he was saying you could use this Dual Shot 4, and you can use the moves. So I tried the Dual Shot. Yeah, it was all right, but obviously it was limited because of the light bar on the front. So as soon as you twisted it too far, you'd lost it. So then I moved to the moves. Now the moves have changed so much because I didn't have the virtual joystick at the time. I had to use just the buttons and my head turning or head tilting to do strafing. And then when they brought in the virtual joystick, like they did on Sorrento, game changer, absolute game changer. It just made an absolute difference in gameplay, speed-wise, rotation-wise, and whatever. It just made a massive difference. So, it does take a lot of getting used to, I will tell you that, but I couldn't go back to the aim. I just couldn't do it.
So many people who ended up testing out the Move controllers had said it's probably one of the better implementations of the Move controllers in a game like this. And I mean, that's pretty high praise considering the fact that there are so many things that you can do in this game, from going crouch to prone to jumping, and then using grenades, switching weapons, using kill streaks. I mean, there are other titles that don't have kill streaks, so that's like an additional button that you have to consider. And there's only so many face buttons to use.
But if you look at the amount of buttons you've got on the moves compared to PSVR 2 and also to the Quest, you've only got 2 buttons. You've actually got 4, 5, 6. Well, you've got 7 and 8 because you've got the start button, you've got the select button, and you've still got all the standard for control buttons without. So
Mhm.
if like anything else, it's just having your thumb on the right place at the right time. But like I say, they do work really well.
Yeah. So I'm
To me, they do anyway.
big kudos to the dev team for making that work. I think they were originally designed before manual reloads were introduced. So it was all the automatic system. And people, man, there was some changing that had to be done. You remember that when people started getting upset that the movement slowed down when you were like looking in a different direction. But what was the biggest reason? Why did that change have to take place?
I don't know. I think it was to do with the strafing. That the move users were strafing quicker than standard control users. So obviously, people with the aim controller were saying that we were just impossible to hit because we were moving at such a speed. I think there was also some IK implementation because our bodies were all getting a bit kerfuddled or whatever. And I think the slowing down of it helped the animation. But also, obviously, from the other player's point of view, that we weren't just flying all over the place. We just seemed to have like superpowers that we were just hammering it all over the actual thing, especially for strafing. It just didn't look natural. It was too quick. I agree that, like you say, when you do turn your head, there should be a little bit of a slowdown. But I think the dimension itself or the angle was too shallow. It should have been at least 90 degrees, but I think we've only got it at 40. So. But like anything else, you just have to adapt.
Right.
Everything's got to adapt accordingly. But I think the main two reasons was it was the body movements the animations were a little bit chaotic, and also, like I say, the speed of the actual move players was very dramatic.
Yeah.
You see what O'Doyle can do, but like I say, that might be down to physical movement as well as actual gameplay movement.
Yeah, I do recall that the movement was so fast that the IK couldn't keep up, so everybody's arm was sticking out of their back. And so
you got to remember, this is running on technology from 2013. Well, the actual technology in a PlayStation 4 is still, probably 12, 13 years old. So having a game like this running on a Quest, which is a mobile phone, and a PS4, not a Pro or a PS5, a standard PS4, it's some achievement. It's a massive achievement to what they've actually got this game doing, within the confines of a PlayStation and the VR as a whole.
So in the very first round of Search and Destroy, DeathSqaud are able to get the defuse, but only NGR and O'Doyle left to speak of the tale. Really good effort though by Gabba's army on defense. Dojo is a really good map for Search and Destroy. I mean, I say this every time that this is a map that kind of took a similar design from a CS:GO map, but that is one of the longest standing esports in history. So they had to have done something right. They did reskin a bit here. Doyle gets taken out by Schlevy in the basement of the restaurant. 3v2. Diver, and I believe Doom left alive. Takes out one. But Dojo is such a great map for Search and Destroy. So many different angles, areas that you need to pay attention to, and
lots of nooks and crannies, lots of open spaces, and obviously when you're going down towards the it's the Range Rover in the on the underpass and things of that nature, there's lots of crossover points. There's lots of high, popping out of side windows and then running down the guttering and stuff like that. So there's lots to learn in this map, lots of little nooks and crannies that you've got to be aware of. It's not just a standard map. There's a lot of little Easter eggs that you've got to find with this map. Jumping onto air conditioning units to get to higher plateaus and things. You've got to learn it. You really got to learn the inside out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-0, DeathSqaud.
The parkour really matters in a map like this. I mean, this was designed specifically to give people a little bit more freedom and movement, and I think that's what gives Alvo such a unique feel. Is that you can get to such high locations just simply by jumping and moving around. Yeah. But it's going to require proper stamina management. Here comes O'Doyle coming around to the double doors.
Two. Is he going to revive in time?
He needs to get a third elimination here without getting tagged. It's very risky to push out towards mid here. He's doing it.
Yeah. But he obviously knows that he's got teammates in tow, so he can utilise that time effectively. Again, here's a little spot here. Half the actual players probably didn't even realise they could get up there. This is it's map management almost, isn't it? It's understanding those what's possible within the location you're in.
He's on the run now. He's the bottom 100 by the white band.
Here we go, 3-0.
Doyle taking out Peaches there.
I'll say poor old Gabba squad have just got to lick the wounds and just say, hold on, guys, we need to think about this a little bit more.
We're attacking, right? I'm gonna grab the bomb. We're going together, right? I'm gonna go to the CC.
I think they are getting
They're probably gonna re in here.
overrun quickly. I think they're not realising these guys are getting to the points so quickly.
Nice elimination there on a Doyle, but there's two members in tow who are able to clean that one up. Gabba's army.
They have the advantage. They have the advantage, so can they use it?
Peaches really putting in the work. That's PJ, by the way, everybody, but he goes by Peaches in game, and he really put in a lot of work.
Does he like pineapple as well?
We'll have to ask. DeathSqaud taking a loss
there we go.
here.
3-1. So game on.
And here's a point that O'Doyle and I talk about very often. I'm sure everybody can agree to some extent. Attacking is probably the more challenging position to be in. Defending is arguably I think defending is arguably a little bit easier, considering that if you get to the point, there's a strong chance that you'll be able to hold that. You can set up your positions a little bit sooner than attack. But we have seen a number of times over and over again, people who are on the attack get the wins. And this is because of usually a very aggressive push. Now, here we are seeing DeathSqaud going to the pots. They're going to get a plant here. O'Doyle keeping his head on a swivel, and I like how he's going prone here behind the pots. Keeps him out of line of sight from that long lane there, and any potential gunfire.
Yeah, again, being in this corner as well, you don't have to worry about people coming from behind. The only option you've got is coming from the actual, top right from where he's looking at. There you go, again.
4-1, only Doomsday.
They have definitely pulled out the Joker card on this one. I think they've said enough is enough. Somebody wants to get their pineapple pizza before it goes cold. So whoever's digging out the din-dins there, thank you very much. I mean, as somebody who was never a big fan of S&D, I have been converted. I've got to be honest. I was never a fan of. I was, as a Call of Duty sort of person, it was always team deathmatch or whatever. But playing S&D within Alvo is converting me massively, as well as Hardpoint as well. So I don't find the free for all and team deathmatch as much fun anymore. I know a lot of players love it because it's a numbers game and they like to get as many points on the board and kills because it helps with their leveling up and whatever. But I've gone past that. It doesn't bother me anymore. I like the strategic side. It's it really does push the thought processes a little bit more than just run and gun. So I thank you, Alvo, for converting me.
There is something about the excitement, isn't it?
The tension, I think, more than anything else. It's the, especially when the guys are trying to guide you around the maps and stuff. I mean, I'm a big fan of Desert. I absolutely love Desert.
So good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful map. Again, early doors as a move user, it was very hard to get long distance shots. But over time, you get that muscle memory and you get that control over the moves that you into a place that makes it work. Obviously, for the aim controller, it's a lot easier. But to say you're only holding it one gun on, it's 3-2.
Yeah, O'Doyle was in a 1v2 situation.
Yeah,
and he tried to take the high ground. He knew where the bomb was too, because he did get the elimination on the attacking player.
Yeah, that's probably a mistake on their part, really. So that's unlike them. Either a miscommunication or, like you say, it was interesting.
It could just be timing. Sometimes, because they had comms on their end as well. So one person was quicker to the trigger than the other.
Ooh.
Just taking out again, leaving Kaiser.
Oh, now then we have a scrap. Oh, they've won it. Okay, so that's
Wow.
what's that? 5-2.
5-2.
Yeah. So they've had a breather. They're just now mopping up. So, like I say, it's a very, very long road for Gabba squad to get this back. But stranger things have happened. I'll guarantee that. Stranger things have happened.
All that they need is a little bit of momentum. If they get a
Yeah.
little bit of momentum behind them, that can throw DeathSqaud a little on edge. Sometimes that's all you need. A nice little bayonet kill, though, but there was someone sitting on the
Somebody.
trash can.
Yep. But now they're it's 3v2 in favour of DeathSqaud, and they're going to use that to their advantage.
Oh, there goes
Yes.
one.
Yeah. It's looking very, very dark. Oh, 3-2-1 now.
Peaches, can he do it?
Where's the bomb? He's by the way. The double van.
He's coming double gates.
Double gates. He just went
Double
through
doors,
double gates.
double gates, coming to backside of A.
Toward the scaffold.
He's coming through.
He's just waiting at the edge of the
Oh, he's definitely holding his own, whatever he's doing.
I see him at the end of the street. Comms are being given out. NGR Kaiser on the prowl. They get that
Oh,
final elimination.
They've got him. Yeah, in that corner. 6-2.
O'Doyle just on the right camera at the right time. Because I'll give credit to Peaches. You know, once he got into that corner, he stopped moving. He knew that. I suspect that he knew that there was a camera there, and
Yeah.
he chose to stop moving because it's like sometimes it being black and white, the cameras being black and white. If there's no movement, it's kind of hard to tell like what's static in the environment and what's an actual
Yes.
player.
Yeah, and especially if there's any dead bodies flying around as well. You know, until they've actually disappeared off the map, I'd be quite tempted to leave the dead bodies in because obviously from a realist, I know obviously Alvo is arcade based rather than realism, but it would just give that little bit of extra. Is that a dead body? Is that somebody in prone? It would just gives that little bit of doubt in your mind, thinking, you know, then you end up shooting them, but you then give you away your position, then somebody picks up. There's so many different permutations that could be added. You know,
Yeah, I'm curious if that's doable for the search and destroy mode because I know with the others, with the respawns having so many dead bodies, that would bog things down. But search and destroy is literally one life.
That's
so
what I'm thinking, rather than any other mode. Yeah, just think of how many bodies would be in the monastery. Just pile it up.
You might as well add another extension and label it the graveyard.
Is that the mortuary? Yeah, we've got a few bodies for you. How many? Well, looking at the score, about 300. Oh, dearie me. Happy days. But no, I think, like I say, adding as a technical mode, a tactical mode, sorry, I think there is some little scopes I think that we could look at as a possible testing maybe. But again, that's down to the guys if they think it's A, doable, and B, if it's worth their time, and would it add any value to the game, of course. That's the important thing.
Well, speaking of desert, we got ourselves desert, but the night variant, which is not often picked. People have a hard time.
This is a beast of a map. I love this map because of the actual darkness. You know, in S&D, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful map to be involved in. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of desert, but
it's one of my favorite, man. There's so many. Like there isn't one spot on this map where I feel like I cannot stand my ground. There's always a spot that I can sit, whether it's down in the town or at the pillars, the pillar wall in the middle, or even in the dilapidated area in the back behind the west wall. Like there's so many spots that you can sit, hold cover, and you just feel confident no matter where you are. It's a very well balanced design map.
It's a beautiful map. It's big enough to be, cause you enough trouble, but you're not going to get caught every 5 seconds. But you've also got to be notable that people on top of buildings, hiding in trees, as well on top of buildings. It's a fabulous map. And obviously from the other side of the wall, you've got the mountains. So yeah, it's.
Those are troublesome, man. When someone's hiding out in the rocks.
Especially when it's dark.
Yeah, it's so dreadful.
And somebody's got a sniper. It's like, where the bloody hell does that come from, you cheeky son? But, that's the beauty of it because of the distance.
That was a nice move by Schlevy, throwing in a molly, distracting, and able to slide in and get an elimination there. They are struggling to try to get this point, but I gotta say that their attempts are admirable.
They're giving it a go. Yeah, they're giving it a go. They just can't get enough in there.
That's not a huge gap to overcome. 20
Not
points.
yet.
Yeah, I mean,
They've just got to make sure they get that gap down sooner rather than later before it starts to get away from them. You know, the great thing about hardpoint on this map is the amount of spawns that regarding the actual hardpoints themselves, they could be anywhere.
Thank you for another donation there, Prince. I know you probably sent that a little while ago, but thank you. I appreciate it. All the support helps. And I agree with you, Vicky. Yeah, Desert is a great map for hardpoint. Really good rotation spawns. I know that there was a couple of glitches every once in a while when people would infinitely spawn in one spot on one particular hardpoint. And that was up back past the west wall to the right of the pillars. Like, once there's a hard point up there, there's a small building that everybody, even your enemy, starts spawning on, and it turns into like this circus fun.
It turned into a rave. We're having a rave there, and everybody dropping a few E-tabs. Come on,
I remember I was in a Publix match, it was Doyle and I, and we all just started spawning there, and we just stopped we stopped killing each other, and we were just so curious as to why it was happening. And we were like, yeah, we're gonna wait for this hard point to rotate.
Oh, well, shall we have a campfire and we'll roast some marshmallows while we wait for the others to turn up? Yeah, that's lovely.
Sing a bit of Kumbaya too. Why not?
Oh, bless you. Oh, that's the beauty of the game, like I say. You know, we know it's not. You know, we've got small budget guys doing this, and there's going to be things they've missed, and obviously we've picked up by the community, but. That's what makes it what it is. You know, it is a fun game. You know, it's even with this league starting up, it's all good fun. You know, even just dropping in every so often, you always get some muppets, but you also get majority of absolute quality people.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming.
This particular spot that Schlevy's on, even though the hardpoint has rotated, that's a relatively difficult hardpoint to hold, because if you sit up on top of the dome, like you're just asking to be shot. So the fact that it extends to the stairwell there is it's great fun. It's nice to have that little extension so that you don't have to sit on the dome. But you're I was gonna say you're still very much exposed to like grenade fire and stuff like that.
But it gives that a little bit of a holding spot, doesn't it? You know, you can just dip down, just out of the way for a second, and it's still quite dark in that corner as well, so you can technically get away with, you know, dropping a surprise. But like you say, as soon as a grenade or Molly's comes in, it's get out ASAP. And the turrets are a bugger to hold as well, absolute bugger.
I think it's 79 to 62, if I read that correctly.
Yeah,
so...
that looks close. So they've clawed some of that 20 back, so they've just got to dig in deep now.
Nice shots here by Schlevy. Good positioning. Does get a couple of mollies. It's really going to make it difficult.
I'm just getting fucking hit, man.
Great movement here by Schlevy. He does get a better angle. Again, he's playing the perimeter. This is what the team needs right now. Able to keep them off the point, even if he doesn't overtake it himself. He makes a decision to do so, but even if he didn't, he was still in a very good spot to keep his opponent off.
And he's staying there for a few seconds as well, which is making a big difference. He's just survived his grenade.
Oh my God!
He's absolutely mullering these at the minute. Oh, unlucky. Great run. Should have got
93 to 79, so they were able to claw their way back. Because you know, DeathSqaud did gain quite a few points there on that particular hardpoint location, so they pulled away a little bit, but thanks to Schlevy, they were pull it back.
Oh my God.
He's holding it again.
Now in this spot, and I'm going to forewarn everybody, in this spot, you creep into the corner like this, keep in mind where your body's poking out, because there are, your feet will stick through the wall. Now, I know that this is going to be fixed at some point. It's been a topic of discussion amongst a lot of beta players, and Sean has confirmed that it is going to be addressed at some point. When, I'm not entirely sure, but as for the time being, if you're going to go prone and you push yourself into a corner, know that there might be a part of you that's sticking through the wall. If you don't want to get shot, be aware, be cognizant of your position.
House map is a classic for that. When you die, you know, onto one of the floors and you're poking through the wall, you just shoot him in the arse. It's great. One of my favourite things in the world. I can see your bottom. I'm going to shoot it. Boom. Or even when you slam him with a with a bazooka as well, it's like, oh, that's just so satisfying. It's quality.
The bazooka, man, I don't run with it because I kill myself way too many times. But but I love it. I can't believe there's a bazooka in a VR game like this. It's crazy.
The explosion is incredible. It's like some attack Mission Impossible, isn't it? It's like
so good.
It's you know, I used to love when the RC card, the explosion on that used to be incredible.
Yeah.
It was like a nuclear bomb. It was incredible.
It's so good to see. And O'Doyle is one of those characters who always runs with the bazooka. I rarely see him kill himself anymore, but in the off chance that he does, it's usually because someone's about to kill him anyway. So hey, you know, I'm the only one who spills my own blood.
you just like playing with big things, don't you? You like playing with big tubes, don't you, you dirty boy? But no, the bazooka, I must admit, when the move it works brilliantly well because you can just basically spin round, let it go, fantastic, you know. And especially down in the, especially when you're down on the top of the stairs and you get it down into the bottom of the road in desert, it just honestly, it's like nuclear wars kicked off. It's like Putin's pressed the red button again. It's just unbelievable. But yeah, it's a beast of a piece of equipment, that is. I'm surprised it's not actually a device you can actually carry with you. If you're running dual main guns, you should have one as your backup. So run with the proto and then have the bazooka on your back. Absolutely, I'd be there.
There was a point in time where like you couldn't switch off of it, and now I believe I don't know if this is only implemented in zombies. Someone might have to correct me, but there was a point where you had to use up both shots before you could switch back to your gun. Because if you switch back to your primary, you would end up losing your bazooka. So you know there goes your kill streak. But I believe that has changed. I don't know if that's changed in the public form. I definitely know it's changed in the zombie form.
Oh, okay.
So that would be really cool if you could actually store that bad boy. But as the kill streaks go, you have to use the 3, 5, and 7 in succession. So I suspect that might not change in the publics, but who knows?
Okay. I mean, sometimes I get to a point where I've not even realised I've got a streak and I end up starting pressing buttons just for the crack, and then it's like when we first had the turret. You know, obviously before we had the dogs, and you set the dogs off, and then with the turret, you'd actually stick the turret in the stairwell of the bloody house, or in the or in the tunnel coming down from the wine cellar. Go, for God's sake, what are you doing? You know, but that's muscle memory. Anyway, all good fun. Okay, have we got scores?
181? Yeah, 181 to, I believe they're at 120 last I saw.
Oh,
yeah. There it is. 160.
Time up. We're lucky.
But you know what?
Well, they didn't get the 200 though. They didn't get them to the 200, so they did enough to actually delay their progression to the 200. So take that as a moral win.
And not to take anything away from Gabba's army's performance there, but I think it also has something to do with the size of the map. You know, desert being the largest map at present, getting to some of those hardpoint locations does take a little bit extra time. I want to give a lot of kudos to Schlevy for some of the work that he put in. What a great perimeter player he was. He kept DeathSqaud off of the point for quite a bit of time until he was forced to take the point himself. So kudos to Schlevy.
I'd like to see in the scoreboard as well, where you actually see who's actually earned the most points. Obviously, got the kills in there, but it'd be nice to see who's actually got the most hard point progression as well, because it'll show you who's done the hard work or the hard graft to try and clear the enemy out for them to start taking the points. So that'd be nice to see in the future.
Yeah, I think Sean said that it's actually calculated, like they have it in the stats. So.
He's got all the stats. He can. Yeah, he's got every single number on the planet. You know, he is the stats man.
And he agreed that it should probably be in there. So you know what? Has anyone who's been in beta, could you tell me, has that been implemented to the scoreboard? I don't know if a lot of people have been testing search and destroy, because for those who are less aware or less in the know, and maybe this is the first time you're hearing it, over in the beta, we are testing the down state in search and destroy. So if you've played zombies and you know that you can be in a down state, revived, and you can even move around, that is going to be implemented into search and destroy. You can get down twice before you're down for the last time, and then you're just out. and you can be revived. Now, there's been a lot of testing around that, but as per Hardpoint, I don't know would I camp with Titch? No, I know what he likes to do in those tents. You know, I don't need that in my life. my back hurts enough as it is.
Just have pineapple on your pizza, mate. Everybody's happy. Why complicate life? You know, you only get one. You only get one life. Just enjoy it.
He'll give you a little ranch for your chicken, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, ranch. What? As in ranch salad? No, or is that ranch? Or is it proper ranch for
ranch dressing? Yeah.
A ranch salad.
Buffalo pizza is like a hot ticket. I don't know how many people in chat enjoy buffalo chicken pizza, but it's at least in New York, it's a hot ticket item, pun kind of intended, and people often put ranch dressing on it.
I'd go with that. I'll go with that.
I'm more of a blue cheese kind of guy with pizza, but
I love blue cheese, mate. Blue cheese.
So good.
Oh, it's so wrong and so right in so many levels.
Yep. When I heard what blue cheese actually was, it was like moldy cheese. I'm like, wait, what? Are you kidding? I thought those were vegetables in there. No. Imagine my disappointment when I learned what it actually was.
You went blueberries. Do you think there were blueberries or something?
I was hoping there was like spinach or artichoke or something like that.
I mean, mold, I'm going to die. Oh my god.
Casper, you hate blue cheese? Okay, fair enough. I understand. Blue cheese is kind of an acquired taste.
For everybody. Yeah, it's not for everybody. I do like. I love cheese. I've got to be honest.
Cheese is so good, man, especially in dressing form. So we are going to be looking and watching primarily from the perspective of a DeathSqaud. Again, sincerest apologies about the volume. I have it cranked on my mixer, and I interacted with the stream itself, and it is cranked as high as it can go. So if it's a little quiet, I wish I could make it louder. Extra mature cheddar is the cheese you want. Is it though?
Yeah, Red Leicester. Do you like Red Leicester, Vicky? Red Leicester's a corking cheese. I love Red Leicester. Especially if you're having a toasted cheese sandwich. Got 100% fish finger sandwich. I love fish finger sandwiches. They are just to die for. Fish finger and cheese.
I'm not opposed to trying cheese, man. Cheese all around it is delicious.
Cheese with or anything, mate. It can be with chilies. It can be with chocolate. I've had cheese and chocolate with chocolate drops in it. Oh my life, that is sex on the tongue, mate. Sex on the tongue. Unbelievable. Okay, so I've got no scores at the moment, guys. So I'm trying to hopefully. Joe's not going to die this round by the look of it, so he's going to spoil everything.
This is the present at someone's party that you just don't want.
No, O'Doyle, you're not on my Christmas list. Go away. Dear, bless him. Good spot at the top of the stairs. The amount of times I've been plonked off by. Oh, look at this. He's on an absolute beast mode. Has he got God mode on? I think he's.
He flicked the lag switch, I guess. I don't know.
Is he on 5G? Is he using 5G off his mobile phone?
Oh, he's got the 5G.
I didn't sign up for this. I only wanted a 12-month contract. I've signed up for 36. What's going on? Well, it looks like O'Doyle is just going to rip poor old Gabba's team another backside hole here. I'm not going to swear, but you know.
Well, we could check out from Gabba's army perspective. I mean, they have the unfortunate spawn near the tunnel.
Yeah, it's awful. The problem with this is I would never ever go anywhere near those sandbags because you might as well just hold the white flag and say "smash me in the face, please."
Yeah, you could try to sprint up to the rocks towards the tent area, and sometimes I can get away with that. But as soon as you do, there's someone on the other team who's already respawned, who's throwing a grenade based on the comment they received, and it's like you got to really be able to move, get into a safe spot where no one can see you. But that's gonna prove very difficult if O'Doyle's gonna be holding that top floor.
Exactly, he's got full view of the whole of the actual location, and it doesn't have to move far either. So he's got quick turn, quick reaction. It's a great little spot.
Hey, found the little ducky. If you guys didn't know that was there. Spoiler alerts.
Oh my life! He's actually got time to shoot the duck in a league competition. Get out, O'Doyle. You're just taking the piss. Get out. Okay. Bless him.
That's a pretty brilliant spot to actually put the duck.
Yeah. I remember that when we were looking for him before, and obviously Monastery, the one behind the in the wine cellar. Are they still there in the new map? Do we know? I've not even checked. I'll have to have a look now if they're still behind the. No, because the barrels have gone, haven't they? Because the barrels have gone because that doorway down to the lower level is where the oil barrels were.
Yeah, but I think the banister one is still there, if I recall correctly.
The one in the church.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that I'm pretty certain that one's still there on daytime. It's not there at nighttime though.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, on the daytime one, I'll have to double check. Well, can anybody tell me if O'Doyle's dead yet? Because I don't think I've seen a red screen at all on this. He's
he did die once.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he died like maybe a few seconds ago, but
in the face, Chevy, unlucky.
The challenge with the loadout that O'Doyle is running. First of all, he's a huge fan of the proto, guys. If you that's the last gun you can earn per your level, and he is a huge fan of the proto. Now, the proto is great. I like running. I always run with extra ammunition because sometimes I spray a little too much. My shots are usually pretty good, but I don't like running out of ammo. And here with the proto, as great as it is being an automatic, it doesn't run with a very loaded
large number. Yeah, that's the thing. It is a great gun. I mean, I've used the proto. Oh God, I think I ran with that, and I think I've only just moved to the. I also have the 3-shot. Is it Annihilator?
Viper.
No, that's Viper. That's it. Annihilator's the AK-47. Yeah, I like the Viper. I like the 3-shot because it's very accurate and there's very little recoil, which is good when you're holding it technically one-handed. Because obviously, which is what you do with a Viper, isn't it? Hold it one-handed. No, you don't. Which is obviously.
But you can.
Yeah, I can. I do. That's one thing where the moves do come into play is when you're using pistols. It's so much fun when you're running around with pistols and knives. You can just flail your arms everywhere like you're having some sort of fit. It's great. But then again, I love bayonets on the end of. I love Bobby the bayonet on the end of all my guns. Just using when you're sliding around corners, you've got a good chance of stabbing somebody in the balls, which is always nice and very satisfying.
And that's what makes his loadout so troublesome because he is running with the proto, which is the automatic rifle. It does run with less ammo, but sometimes he doesn't even have to kill you with the bullets. He just, if you get too close, he's going to McStabby you right around the corner, which is very devastating. The number of times I've played with him and gone up against him, and the number of times that I've died by that bayonet. Not just him either. A lot of members of Devil Spit and have run that, and every time I play these people, I die more by the bayonet. I swear to God.
Yeah. We love, like I say. I mean, you stick it on the actual sniper. It's got its own zip code. It's so bloody big. It's like a flipping barge. It's massive. You can wave it from the top of the house and stab somebody in the flipping lookout across the way. It's so big. It's ridiculous.
Now just wait till they add a throwing mechanic, which where you can take your hand off of the gun and actually throw it. Now it's become a javelin spear that you can...
Just thinking that. Here we go. Wallop. Just throw it from the top of the house and see if you can get a kill. Oh, that'd be, honestly, if anybody can do that, if that's going to be allowed, the first person to do that has got to be. I will kiss their feet. I'll just kiss their feet. Bless them.
I have to say, I think it would either be Mental Man or Daft or Black Mario. One of those three trick shot players will end up doing it.
I think Mental will be the one to do that. But it'd be really interesting now how that mechanic will work with the actual the aim controller. That'll be an interesting one because obviously question moves.
No one throw your aim controller, please. Don't.
Oh, brilliant!
Well, this match kind of got away from us. We went off on a bit of a tangent. But
I think looking at the score, DeathSqaud were in about 150, and the others were in less than probably 80.
Yeah, so 90 to 60, a perfect 30-point difference here. And DeathSqaud are going to effectively take the lead on the leaderboard for the first time this season. They were tied for the entirety of the season up to this point. And this was paramount to secure that first place spot, and they have absolutely done so. Gabba's Army, though, man, they put up one hell of a fight. Let me tell you,
They did.
Despite it being a 6-0 sweep, it was not by any easy feat whatsoever.
No, there was no game where they were absolutely completely wiped out. Like I say, they've dug deep. They've dug deep to try and get try and at least put the mockers on. At least slowing the score down if at all possible, even nicking an odd game if they could. And to be fair, if there were a bit of luck on their side, could have been 5-1. Maybe 4-2 at an absolute push, but I think the quality shone through in the end, and the guys, DeathSqaud, have obviously earned the 6-0, but they've had to earn it. They've had to earn it.
Yeah, the future weeks are going to be interesting because now we have an official first place team, DeathSqaud being the one to beat, and there's going to be a big match at the end of the season between DeathSqaud and Trauma, and I think this is more of a testament to see who is the true victor. That'll be exciting. But before we do get there, we got 2 more weeks to play. And this is the last one for this week. We're going to be moving into week 6. So I'm excited to see what's going to take place there. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a heads up on what those matches are going to be before I get distracted by a million things in Discord, as I tend to do. Let's go to the fixture list here. So in week 6, this is actually going to be the break week for Trauma and DeathSqaud for their final match, because they would have originally gone up against each other in week 6. So they're going to have a break week, and then we got Gabba's Army against the Murdos, Carnage versus Grandpas, and Hacks versus Devil's Spit. All phenomenal lineup. Like, every single one of those matches is going to be great. All these teams are very, very close in terms of overall score. So this is going to be very interesting to see where everybody finishes up in week 6 and where that's going to place them on the leaderboard. I am pulling for Devil's Spit. I genuinely am, because they have been sitting at the bottom of the board for far too long, and they are far too talented to be down at the bottom for the amount of time that they have. But they have Hacks, and Hacks is a very strong team. So hopefully they are getting their practice in. If they need any scrims, shout me out. I will I'll come and help. But that's making up your week 6. And then week 7, you got Murdos versus Trauma, Hacks versus DeathSqaud, Gabba's Army versus Grandpas, and Carnage versus Devil's Spit. And then we got the final match, which is going to be the break week for Trauma and DeathSqaud. And that's going to be on May 1st, I believe, between Trauma and DeathSqaud. So that'll be an exciting one absolutely not to miss. So that's what's coming up in the future, guys, and we are going to cover as much as we possibly can. If I'm not here, clearly O'Doyle is very capable, and Titch and I are also very capable. So regardless, we're going to try to get this as long as one of us can manage it. I'd like to give the largest shout out that I possibly can to Mick over here, or Plank, or whatever you want to call him. You're gonna be joining us for that Trauma DeathSqaud match.
Oh yes, mate. I'll be suited and booted. I'll have my little dicky bow. I'll have my little jacket on. It'll be like the Oscars, mate. Like the World Cup final. Like the World Cup final. I'll get suited and booted. Because it's going to be a special occasion. It's a one-off. It's going to be an absolute thriller. I think we're going to see one hell of a scrap. We're going to see friendships go out the window. We're going to see toys. We're going to see toys thrown out the pram. We're going to see dummy spit from many, many directions. Mainly from Diver, because that's all he ever does. But apart from that, love you, Diver. I do. But it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Thank you for inviting me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've enjoyed every second of it. I think I found my true calling. I might just give my job up and do something else. Crap everything else. So I might as well have a go at this. But no. As I say, I need to get back onto Alvo. I've got my PlayStation Pro re-rigged up with the dildo, so the dildos are making a return. Like I say, I have been wasting my time on Gran Turismo 7 and other games on the PS2, PSVR 2. I need to come back. You've pretty much. My balls are tingling just to get back in, and that's just wrong. Just wrong on so many levels.
He's talking about the dildo sticks, balls tingling.
Oh yeah, hold on. Hold on. Do they light up? Let me see. Let me light up. Come on, go. Oh no, I'm out of range.
Oh,
But
dang.
no, no. I miss you guys so much, and like I say, I've probably done myself a disservice by not being as much involved as I have been in previous years, and this has really got me back on the track. So I'll just have to make sure I get the beta over. I've got it on Quest and stuff, but I just don't feel comfortable playing it on the Quest. It's not my cup of tea. It doesn't feel that. It doesn't feel that.
Mhm.
With the rubber, the rubber dildos on it and everything. Look at this, look it's even got its own condom. Look at it.
It's well protected, but I must say that the pleasure was all ours. We greatly appreciate it. In from No Man's Planet, wonderful. Well, welcome. The pleasure was
Where you
all
been? Where you been?
ours.
I'm telling you, his OnlyFans channel's amazing. He's got a sexy voice, hasn't he? Has he got a sexy voice? The way he talks is.
It's very It's very calming and very quiet.
Hello, this is No Man's Planet.
That was pretty good.
Hello, my dudes. How we doing, my dudes? He makes me laugh. He really does.
Well, before we head out now, do you want to say anything to everybody who's watching?
Piss off.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, thanks
In
for
proper fashion,
guys. The more we get people involved, the more this is going to grow. And I think, we knew early doors when, from early doors from the beta testing to when it was released and then came out on Quest and Pico and obviously pushing towards other platforms. It's still one of the most incredible communities. I know people just say that on the whim, but no, there are people who are truly loved in here, truly, encapsulating what this game is, which is a blast. For the you turn up, you could be completely shit, you could be completely brilliant, it doesn't matter. You come on board, you'll be you're welcome into the community through Discord or through the actual game itself. We won't tell you to sod off. We'll tell you how to get better at the game. Have you considered this? Have you tried that? Have you sorted out your offsets in the game? Stuff that people would not know. And at the end of the day, we want to educate. We want to obviously get these guys on board, loving the game, expanding the game, and also obviously telling more people about it, because more people are playing. Steve gets more money and he can buy a new car.
and put it in the game. Oh goodness!
Yeah, put it in the game. He still owes me a book. He still owes me a bookmark on the bloody dojo. He still hasn't added my name in the dojo, which I'm not happy about. Sean, you're listening. Get it sorted. You're doing.
We'll get him.
You
on
promised.
That.
You promised. You promised.
Well, like I said, the pleasure was all ours. Of course, Move Master Mick is in the house, and he will be making a return during that finals match between Trauma and DeathSqaud 101. Congratulations, DeathSqaud, on your victory today in Gabba's army. Definitely nothing to turn your nose up at. This was a very hard-fought game. Absolutely impressive play. The way you guys started to where you are now for this league has really just, the improvement is very stark and obvious. Yeah. So congratulations on that, and we will see you guys in week 6. If you guys haven't followed over on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, or on Facebook, please consider doing so. And to stay in the know, be sure to join the Discords as well. But of course, we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to Amateur Hour Commentary. Until then.
Love you all, ladies and gentlemen. Keep safe, keep smiling, and just enjoy life to the max.
Peace.
Yeah.